this is a little reminder to myself and to you to be less judgmental and to become more playful and curious again. I think we might be surprised how often we actually judge ourselves and others. It's happening in so many micro moments. We aren't even aware of it most of the time. And I mean, judgment is necessary. There is a time and place for judgment, but being judgmental is something totally different. Being judgmental means closing off instead of staying open. Being judgmental means being restrictive instead of free, and it diminishes, our potential for growth and our authentic and creative expression. And I think this applies to the smallest acts of creativity, but also to our whole life, which we are manifesting and creating each and every single moment with each breath we take. How often have we sabotaged ourselves because we were way too focused on outcome and on perfection, instead of simply enjoying the act of living and creating. Ultimately it's all about self-protection and ego. And I have to admit that there was a voice inside of me, and still is sometimes, that tells me, you shouldn't make video diaries. You shouldn't try out new things. And this voice comes when I'm way too worried about what other people might think of me. But the best way to care less about what other people think is learning to become less judgmental towards yourself and towards others. Because by doing this, we can rediscover the pure enjoyment of creating and of improvising. And I think improvising is so much more fun than improving. So, that's what I will do in this video. I will just improvise and see where it takes me. And now I'm off to work. I'm working in a mixed-abled art project and in a neurodiverse environment. If you like, I will take you with me. And later I want to visit my friends and to play some music, which I haven't done in ages. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you've already watched this far, I really appreciate your sweet company. So stay with me. So back in the day, when I used to study at the Academy of Media Arts in Cologne, I attended seminars that were all about judging the artwork of others. And looking back, some of those seminars were actually pretty disturbing. I can clearly remember teachers making students cry with their derogatory comments about their art or their creative expression. And it kind of felt as though the entire atmosphere pushed lots of students toward creating work that conformed to those kind of rigid expectations. I say this intentionally without judgment, but rather as an observation about the kind of environment that, prioritizes judgment over encouragement.
Krass. Cool. Camille. Bei uns betont man so sweet.
Und es ist ja super schwierig, in Berlin eine Wohnung zu finden. Und ich bin
When I discovered the art project where I currently work, it was like stepping into a completely new world. Sometimes I feel that life, which is kind of our greatest sculpture or canvas, is a journey back to our origins, our essence, our authenticity, back to who we were before we build up layers of ego and self-protection. And working with mixed-abled artists, and some of them being neurodivergent, reminds me that the value of art and living is not adapting to external standards, but in expressing something true and deeply human. Being playful to me means being able to immerse yourself in the creative flow without constantly observing or evaluating yourself. It means recognizing that being judgmental is a form of self-protection that oftentimes has its origins in a hurt self-worth and in experiences of powerlessness and a lack of safety. But just like an armor can hinder us in our ability to move freely and unburdened, being judgmental can hinder us in expressing ourselves and connecting deeply. So taking that armor off in a safe and inspiring surrounding with people or friends that you trust, that are open-hearted and free from that burden, is the way to go, I think.
Slow down, you crazy child. Take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can afford to lose a day or two. Why don't you realize that Vienna waits for you?
Ja, Gott!
Do it!
Wir gehen ja gerade!
Until it's done.
Ja, wir machen die Akkorde, Amol.
Sunrise, sunrise, couldn't tempt us if it tried, 'cause the afternoon's already come and gone. And I said, ooh, ooh, your love is my love and my love is your love. It would take an eternity to break us, and the chains of Amistad couldn't hold us.
Du hast mich verletzt, meine Träume zerfetzt und jetzt kommst du daher mit so einem blöden Geschwätz.
Du liebst mich einfach nicht, du liebst mich nicht und deshalb liebe ich dich auch nicht mehr. Wenn das mal so einfach wäre. Okay, ich habe noch einen riesen Herzenswunsch.
Ich weiß nur noch deutsche Lieder singen.
Nee, das geht aber nicht. Wir können uns nicht einschränken. Und zwar
Whether I'm right or wrong.
Und, wie findest du unsere Band?
Ich finde euch super klasse.
Das ist der best Boyfriend, halt in dir warm.
And you want to travel with him, and you want to travel blind, and then you maybe trust him, for she's touched your perfect body with his mind.
So here's to laughter and cheer, to endless moments year after year. Less time with Excel, more time for romance. Here's to kisses, wishes, and your wedding dance. From dancing in bush-eyed small town light This night test we just right. Sharing meals and the couch at day's end. There's no crisis from which you won't transcend. So here's to love, to laughter and cheer, to endless moments, year after year. There's time to accept, time for romance. Here's to wishes and wedding dance.
I wrote something down to finish this video off, and I would like to read it to you. We create our lives with each breath we take. Telling ourselves it's too late to create the life we love is like burdening ourselves with the heaviest armor. Armor that keeps us from moving freely, all in the name of protecting ourselves from failure, embarrassment, disappointment, judgment, and pain. It's so much easier to be serious, rigid, and judgmental. So much easier than to stay open, curious, and playful. Let's free ourselves from that burden, from that armor. Let's choose courage over fear and stop confining ourselves to those boxes made of limiting and self-deprecating beliefs. There is a time for surviving, and there is a time for thriving. There is a time for protection, and then there is a time for connection. Loving requires vulnerability. Creating the life you love requires vulnerability. And rediscovering curiosity and playfulness, again, demands vulnerability. How can we receive life's gifts if we are unable to truly touch and feel them?